Good morning. So since I mentioned on this channel that I have been carnivore for 90 days, but then I came off for a few days, felt worse, now I'm back on the carnivore diet. A few of you have mentioned that you would like me to do a what I eat in a week as a carnivore video. So that's what I'm doing now. So we're starting off, let me show you, with our usual egg and bacon. So lots of streaky bacon here and 2 fried eggs. And I'm also going to be making a butterccino, and I will show you how I do that now. So this is how I make my butterccino. Some people don't have coffee on the carnivore diet, I know that, but I do. It doesn't affect me negatively, so I just carry on drinking it at the moment. So I pour in my black coffee into the Vitamix, and then I put in about a tablespoon of butter, and then I blend it up, and I'll show you what that looks like. And there's my butterccino. And the reason I have a butterccino is because I'm having a high fat carnivore diet. I like to have 80% fat in my diet. It just makes me feel a lot better, and I actually lose weight when I'm eating that much fat, because when you're on the carnivore diet you are in ketosis, well you should be. I've used keto strips to check that I'm definitely in ketosis, and I am. And you get into ketosis by lowering your carbs. So milk has got carbs in, so instead of having milk in my coffee, if I have the butter, there are a lot less carbs. I don't know if there's any carbs in butter, actually, I can't remember, but a very tiny amount anyway, that doesn't bring you out of ketosis. So when you're in ketosis, you're no longer running on glucose or sugar for energy. You are now converted to running on fat. And so yeah, the more fat I eat, the more energy I have, the better I feel, the more weight I lose, because I don't know why, but everything we've been told is a lie, and that is how it really is. So you should try it. If you don't believe me, just try it. So yeah, I have the butter in my coffee instead of milk. Sometimes I have cream. Yeah, the more butter I eat, the easier everything moves in my bowels. Bit TMI, but might as well tell you how it really is, because if you're seriously considering this diet, you need to know things like that. Another thing that people on the carnivore diet bang on and on about are taking electrolytes. I have never bought any electrolytes as such. I kind of make my own because they're quite expensive. If you don't take electrolytes, you will feel really tired, have a headache. There's lots of different symptoms, you can look it up. You don't feel good if your electrolytes are out of balance. So when you're on the carnivore diet, it is important to have electrolytes, but like I said, I make my own. So the way I do that is I have a glass of water, a big pint glass of water, and I put in a teaspoon of my magnesium powder and a little pinch of Himalayan salt, and that works perfectly for me. So I have that once a day, sometimes twice a day if I feel like I need it, but generally once a day. So I'll show you how I make that later on as well. First, I grab myself a large glass of filtered water. Next, I add a teaspoon of magnesium powder. I've been using this one by Calm for many years, and I've spoken about it in pregnancy vlogs before. It helps me sleep at night. It also helps me have bowel movements. And then I add a tiny bit of Himalayan pink rock salt. As you can see, this pink rock salt has naturally occurring electrolytes in it. It's got iron, magnesium, potassium and calcium. So for lunch I'm having some of the diced lamb. This is mine and my husband's. This one's mine. This is my husband's, and I'm going to put plenty of salt and pepper on there. Some carnivores that are more strict than me will not have pepper, but I do have pepper. And that is Really delicious. That's just been air fried for 18 minutes and it's tender, but it's still got crispy bits as well. For my dinner this evening, I am having pan-fried wild salmon with some mussels. I like to have seafood at least once a week, and I always like to try and include some mussels as well. I don't particularly like them, but they're so good for you. They've got lots of iodine in and loads of other minerals and vitamins and everything, so check them out if you haven't already and see how good they are for you. All this food has been cooked in plenty of butter. The last thing I'm going to eat today is half a pot of the clotted cream. Hello, just to confuse things, I am wearing the same jumper as yesterday, but it is a new day and it's past lunchtime. I haven't eaten yet because we've been out and we've been busy, so I'm now cooking my breakfast, lunch, brunch, whatever, and I'm having I'll show you in a second. So this is my brunch today. I've got 2 fried eggs, 3 rashers of back bacon and a little bit of ox liver. I'm having a butterccino, so I've used organic filter coffee and a tablespoon of butter and a tiny pinch of salt. I'm having my usual daily homemade electrolytes drink, a little bit of Himalayan sea salt and a teaspoon of magnesium. So this is what I'm having for dinner this evening. It's a Barnsley chop with some fried halloumi, and I will be eating all the fat off of this Barnsley chop because it's really good for you and I need to get my fat percentages up as high as I can. Today for breakfast I'm having some back bacon and I'm also making some scrambled eggs, and I'm cooking that in lots of butter. I'm adding some double cream to the eggs and a little bit of salt and pepper. I used to really struggle to eat eggs and bacon in the morning, but since being on the carnivore diet I've been craving it more and more, so this is usually what I have most mornings. So one thing I haven't mentioned yet is how I log everything that I eat. I do that so I can keep track of the percentage of fat that I have been eating, because I like, as I said, I like to keep it above 80% if I can. So this is the app I use. It's called Chronometer and it's free. I think there are options to pay for more stuff, but I always just use the free version. So I click on breakfast and I go to add food, and if I go to my favourites then I can put in, I had a tablespoon of butter because yeah, that's what I cooked the scrambled eggs in. I had scrambled eggs, so yeah, I had 2 scrambled eggs, so I can add that. I had some cream in my scrambled egg, about 30 mils I would say, so I'm going to add that. And then I had back bacon, and I had 3 rashers of that, and it's really good because you can see how many calories you're getting from that amount of bacon. So you can adjust how many rashers you've had up here, or you can change it to how many grams you've had. You know, you can adjust it to how you want, and then here it tells you how many grams of protein that is, and how many carbs, 0.4 carbs, 0.4 grams of carbs, how much fat you've had. So I'm going to add that to my thing. Now, I'm not concerned with looking at my vitamins or my minerals or anything, because I'm fairly happy with how I'm doing things. And if you do a bit of research into the carnivore diet, you can see that you don't need hardly any vitamin C on the carnivore diet. And if you go onto Dr. Berry's YouTube videos about that, you can find out more about that. Or Dr. Anthony Chaffee, his videos, he can talk about that as well. But yeah, so you don't need hardly any vitamin C. Fibre, you do not need. You absolutely don't. I know all my life I've been told I need fibre for my IBS, but the more I have, the worse my IBS is. Fibre is an anti-nutrient. It just pulls everything out of you. The good stuff, the bad stuff, all of it. It's just an anti-nutrient. So fibre you definitely don't need. But what I am concerned with here is the amount of fat. So as you can see, that's gone over 75% now. So I'm happy with how that is today. I'm also not concerned with my calories, but there is some talk of having to have a certain amount of grams of protein per pounds of your body weight or something like that. And I'm not sure what mine is, but I did find out and I did program it into here. So I'm guessing I should be having 113 grams of protein today, because I did program this in at one point. And so far today, just with my breakfast, I've had 22% of that. So as long as I reach as much protein as, there as I should be having, then I'm happy, because if you don't reach the proper amount of protein, then you can start to have problems like your hair will start to fall out and you'll be losing muscle mass, and I don't know, different things like that. So yeah, there we go. So breakfast today was 583 calories, and I feel very satiated with that breakfast. And I'll show you later how I log in the rest and what the results are at the end of the day. For my lunch today, I'm just having a very small lunch. I'm having 40 grams of brie and a butterccino. For dinner, I slow cooked some beef short rib in some bone broth. Good morning. So I know this is probably going to come to you as a massive shock, but I am not having egg and bacon for breakfast today. I fancied having some chicken wings, so I've got this pack of chicken wings. I got this one from Marks and Spencer's, and it was only about £1.65, I think it was. And there's tons in there. That's how much? 750 grams. So I'll air fry all of those for about 24 minutes, and I'll eat what I want to eat till I'm full, and then whatever's left over, my children will always eat, so nothing goes to waste. They have already had a breakfast, so this will just be an extra snack for them. I've got the, I don't know if you can see, let me show you. I've got the Instant Pot, and I use the air fry option on that. So I've just laid all the chicken wings onto the trivet in the thingy-majiggy. And I put it on, hang on, let's turn this plug on. Oh. 204 Celsius for 24 minutes, because I like my chicken wings nice and crispy. Look how lovely they look. Let's see how many I can actually eat. Probably not many. Well, today I managed to eat 4 chicken wings, which might be a world record for me. So I've left some of them for the children. Yesterday I forgot to share with you, when I put in the rest of the food that I'd eaten that day. So for the breakfast, I had the scrambled egg and bacon. Then for lunch I had the brie for lunch, and I had a couple of coffees, one with butter in, one with cream in, and yeah, that was that for lunch. And then for dinner I had the beef short rib and some bone broth. And I did not get quite enough protein yesterday, but I don't take these numbers too seriously, as long as I'm feeling full and everything. And yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. But I could have done with a tiny bit more protein yesterday. But anyway, so we had 4.7 grams of carbs altogether from the eggs and the cream or whatever. And then there you can see my percentage of fat is about 80% there. So I'm very happy with that. It says I've gone over my calories, but I don't care about the calories at all. That doesn't really bother me. So yeah, that's how I keep a track of my fat percentages. I'm having some burger patties now, and I like to make my own because then I know exactly what is in it and what's not in it. So I've just got 20% fat beef mince, which is organic, and I'm mixing that up with some salt and pepper, and then I'm just dividing it and putting it into my patty press. I think generally if you make things from scratch, they usually do cost less than if you buy them ready-made as well, so that's always an incentive. But there's a lot of things, most things that I make from scratch these days that I used to just buy and not even think about. And to these burgers I'm adding a thick slice of cheddar in the middle and trying to sort of seal it in between the meat so that it doesn't leak out in the air fryer. And it seems with most things that I air fry, it takes about 20 minutes, and it was the same with these burgers, 20 minutes, and they were just right. I made one each for myself and my husband, and each of them had 200 grams of beef mince, and it doesn't look like a lot, but they were actually really filling. For dinner this evening, I'm using more of the 20% fat organic beef mince, and it's actually very reasonably priced. So if you are on a budget like me and carnivore, then beef mince can definitely help you stay within that budget. I'm adding salt and pepper, and then I am just making them into some small meatballs to fry. To go with the meatballs, I'm making a carnivore cheese sauce, so it does not have any flour or anything like that in it. It's just some double cream heated up and some grated cheese melted into it. And you just keep it on the heat and keep stirring it until it's as thick as you want it to be, which doesn't take long at all, just a matter of a few minutes. Okay. Well, you haven't done the table at all. Good morning. Today I am feeling really hungry, so I am having egg and bacon again. Yes, no surprise there. 3 rashers of back bacon and 3 fried eggs and a little bit of ox liver. And I am looking forward to tucking into that. I'm having another butterccino. I do have at least 1 or 2 of these a day, so even though I'm not including it in every day on this video, I am having them. For my lunch today, I'm having these lamb riblets, and they are nice and fatty and they are delicious. I love lamb, it's my favourite meat, and there's quite a lot in there, so half for me and half for my husband. I'm just going to cook these by popping them in the air fryer, probably for 20 minutes, and then hopefully they'll be nice and crispy. And ta-da, here they are, cooked and lovely and crispy. If you haven't already tried lamb riblets, I highly recommend that you do give them a go. I'm having a little snack of brie. For dinner this evening, I just air fried some diced lamb. I just couldn't be bothered to do anything else this evening. So yeah, that's it. So diced lamb, air fried for 20 minutes with salt and pepper on. And for my breakfast today, I am having air fried chicken wings. And again, I cooked them in the air fryer for about 24 minutes. I was in a real rush this lunchtime, so I just fried up some 20% fat beef mince and put salt and pepper and grated cheese on the top, and just had that as a quick snack. For my dinner this evening, I'm having some diced chicken breast, half of this for me, half for my husband, and I made a cheese sauce with just using double cream, some cheddar and some mozzarella, and that looks amazing. Some carnivores are really okay with adding seasonings to their food, so you could add some garlic powder to the cheese sauce, but I'm trying to be quite strict, so I'm not doing that. Or you could add some chili powder, or different things like that, depending on what you fancy and whether you're okay health-wise with things like that. But for me, I'm just sticking to the cream, the cheddar and the mozzarella, and it tastes delicious like that to me anyway. Now, I know the chicken breast is a really low fat meat, which is not ideal for me at the moment, but I just really fancied it, so I'm going to have that with the cheese sauce to bring up the fat content. Good morning. So today I fancy some pancakes for breakfast, and I'm going to show you how I make my carnivore pancakes, and I'm going to have those with some crispy streaky bacon. So yeah, I'll show you how I do that. So the first thing you need to do is to separate 3 eggs, and we want to whisk the egg whites first. I'm going to put the egg whites in here. I'm going to be whisking those egg whites until they're nice and stiff, and as I'm whisking them, I'm going to be adding in a tablespoon of beef gelatin. When the egg whites are nice and stiff, like so, then put them into another bowl. Then I'm just going to rinse out the bowl and rinse off the whisk, and then I'm going to go on to the second part. So for the second part, we need the 3 egg yolks. So I'm going to put into the mixer and whisk those with 2.5 tablespoons of collagen powder. Then I've added the egg yolk mix to the egg white mix, and now I'm just going to very, very gently fold it all together, trying to keep as much air in the mixture as I can, so that we can have the nice fluffy pancakes. And it does not matter if it's not all completely mixed perfectly together, that's fine. That will do. I'm starting off by adding some butter, melting it in a cast iron skillet, and then you can make the pancakes as big or small as you like. You just have to kind of shape them until you're happy. Okay, so these have been cooking now for about 5 minutes on a medium heat, and I'm going to turn them over. That one's a little bit, almost too done, but I think that's fine. So I made 6.5 small pancakes from that mixture, but sometimes I use that same mixture to make them slightly bigger, and then I'll use one at the bottom and one at the top, and then in the middle I'll put a homemade beef patty, and then a homemade pork mince patty, so it's like sausage meat, and a slice of cheese, and it's just delicious. So here is the leftover bit that I made into a half pancake, and I'll just break it open so you can see what the texture looks like inside. It's light and fluffy and cooks all the way through. My lunch today is 2 boiled eggs mashed up with plenty of butter and some salt and pepper. My last dinner of the week is air fried diced lamb, which I love. It's delicious. It's so simple, so quick and easy to cook, but I love it. I really hope you've enjoyed seeing what I eat as a carnivore and as a busy mum of 9. Nothing fancy, but it's just how it is. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I shall see you again very shortly. Thanks for watching. Bye.